All right. So where we left off? We left off after the interaction with the child trafficking operation. So this was around 2017, and I was still trying to make sense of it, quite a bit. So we'll go off. Still a lot of stories in the middle, guys. I mean, there's so much to this, and there's updates and supernatural stuff happening every day. I mean, this stuff is just crazy, guys, just wild, and you guys need to hear it. And because the new generation of men that are growing up here in America, it's going to be a city of superhero Jesus, guys. That's what's coming. Two witnesses. Okay. Anyways, all right. So maybe around 2018. No. This is so about a month to a month and a half after first contact. After I had the interaction with the child trafficking operation, I went out to the park, Kennedy Park, out of Yuma, Arizona. And you can look it up on Google Maps. Kennedy Park. At Kennedy Park. I went over to the baseball field at Kennedy Park, and I just started sitting on just a table, just one of those metal tables, and I'm in vision mode. So I go out there, and I'm just walking in the spirit. You're in vision mode, and you can actually, God interacts with you with visions, so you can see things. I was kind of curious to see, because he didn't do it to that extent just yet, but I was just curious to see if he would. But he would interact with the environment around you in visions. So I'm at the table and go in visions, and then I start seeing body parts of children underneath the table that I'm sitting at. And as I look around the entire fence line of the baseball field, I'm seeing a trail line of bodies of children, all body parts and pieces of kids, just tons of them. I start seeing in the background there, I see a tree, and it's on the other side of the property. It's a daycare center now, but I see a tree, and it shows me 15 men or so picking up, uprooting the tree and placing a dead body of a child underneath the roots of the tree and slamming it back down. And I'm not really making sense of this, because I'm just not making sense of this. Just in a lot of disbelief. So at the baseball field, I'm seeing a man coming up from the dugout on the right hand side of the dugout at the baseball field. I see a man crawl out of a hole. He goes out to the fence, to the end of the yard, to a fence, and at that time there was actually a hole there that you could squeeze through. He squeezes through. He waits behind a couple of blue dumpsters, and a kid's coming his way, and he snatches up a small boy. I want to say the kid was like 8 or something. He was small. He grabs him, puts the hand over the mouth, and pulls him in the hole of the fence, and goes to that underground dugout. He then God shows me then it leads down to a underground torture lair that, and he showed me a trail line. It's going through the fence line. Underneath the fence line, there was actually a tunnel system that goes through the properties, and goes to Arizona Avenue, where there is an underground torture center. And later he showed me, I saw maybe about 200 to 500 people that are kids, mainly kids, that are under there being just tortured. But we'll get to that. But that comes later. I wasn't connecting the dots. This was at the beginning. So he was showing underground tunnel system that goes to just a holding tank at that time. That's all I understood at that time. It was just kind of like a where the kid went. God didn't really reveal to me that it was an underground torture facility at that point. So as I'm going through the park, I'm just seeing stories of children being grabbed up and snatched, and things with the environment. Now, at that time, I didn't know what to think, man, because you don't know if it's recent or if it's in the future or if it's just stories. At the time, I was just thinking that it was just stories. Stories from an unknown place, but it wouldn't be connected here in Yuma. That's what my mindset was at the point. God's just, I spend a couple of hours there, and God is just showing me just bodies. There's just bodies of children and people scattered throughout the desert, off the train line, on the property of the train line. Just one thing after another. I mean, there was so much, but it was all the same theme of murder, child sacrifice, satanic rituals, dismemberment, and there was just so many stories of that. I'll share this with you guys, but this one hit home, and this one was pretty prominent to me. But in the soccer field, if you go to Google Earth, Google Maps, you'll see a soccer field. On that soccer field, next to the northeast, southwest, so the west side of the soccer field, God's showing me a mother and a small child. I want to say 4 years old. He was small. He was like a 4 or 5 year old kid. She gets up. I think she goes to the restroom, does something. And as she's getting up, the kid's just playing. Just kids do play. And then a couple of guys come up behind and just snatch up the baby boy and take him in the car. And then the lady turns around and she's looking for the kid. She can't find it. She starts panicking. She kept looking around, and then she's just crying and screaming out for the kid. Something happened to the kid where he was hurt in one of these rituals, these satanic rituals. And then when that happened, I'm just like, that's sad, Lord. And I just start saying, that's sad, Lord. And then on the field, I just start seeing a spirit walking up to me. So it wasn't a vision, but it was, think of it like virtual reality. You know how kids today, they're using virtual reality. It's like that. It's like a high definition virtual reality interaction. And he was, that baby boy started just coming up to me and just with his hands out like that, just, like, help me. And just, I just started bawling. Guys. And I even felt, he grabbed onto my leg and he stood there just like, help me, Dad, that type of thing. Just help me, Dad. And then, I felt the weight of the kid, like on my leg. And I didn't know what to do, guys. This is crazy stuff. What do you do with this? So I just, first thing out of my head is just go with God. It's a spirit, and he got killed. Just go with God. And as I touched the kid, the spirit of the kid, I see the kid turns into gold dust. And that's symbolism for the Holy Spirit power. I'm just understanding. There's more to it, but God kept using the symbolism of gold later in with the visions, things that we touch with the Holy Spirit power. It turns to gold. But that's Jesus. Jesus is gold. Jesus is gold, man. So the Holy Spirit power, it ain't me, it's Jesus. That's the only thing. So the kid, he went to turn into gold dust, and I was shooken up. There was some more. There was a playground in the field. I don't know if they took it down or not, but there were some things going on there at that playground also. And so at the time, God was having me draw down a cross, and the cross is a little different, and I'll show you guys. So he had me draw this symbol, if you guys can see it. Where is it at? So this is the symbol God showed me in visions. Now this isn't the exact symbol at the very bottom here. They etched that in, they made that, but without that etched in at the very, very bottom, that's what God was showing me in visions. That's the symbol that he kept showing me. Yeah. So that symbol has a significant meaning where God is showing that symbol to me in Revelations of the cross, and that is a profound symbol. So not just the cross by itself, but the foundation. So that is an important symbol, because God showed me that symbol quite a bit. So I etched in the cross at the playground there. That's right off the soccer field. Like I said, I don't know. I think they tore it down now. I don't know if it's still there. Anyways, so as I'm back there, though, behind me, where there's a building. It was abandoned, but there was a lot of junk in the junkyard, and you guys can see this on Google Maps. God showed a hole there that we're going to be filling up. So God shows me pushing a rock. As we're training, we're pushing a rock, and God is making a path. And I got a picture of it. Got a picture of it on the Instagram, and we'll get it to you so you guys can see it. But God shows me that repeating vision of me pushing a rock, and we're filling up the holes. And one of the holes there is in that building, which is connected to the underground tunnel system that goes to the underground torture facility here in Yuma. That building was empty in 2017, but now it's a daycare, right? As I'm walking back, I'm going to the baseball field, and at the baseball field, across the street, there's a bunch of houses. There was I saw 3 prominent visions there. God showed me the pedophile gang here in Yuma. He showed me 2 judges and maybe about 15 guys. They were gang raping one child at a time. Showed me, so it was 1 girl and I think 2 boys. I remember seeing 1 girl and 1 boy, but it was 3 children. And it was a group of guys all going after a little kid, and you're like 5 years old guys. They was like 5 years old. I didn't understand that because it was hard. And the judges, I didn't recognize them. The only thing I recognized was the suit, the robes that they wear, the black robes. So that was the only thing that was prominent as far as identifying who they were. Then this is weird. So so I was thinking that one of the like it happened right at the time. I was thinking that it was happening at that location, and like I said, I don't know if it was a story or if it was just there, or if it was actually there at that location. But me thinking, me being Mr. Literal, I thought that, hey, there's got to be evidence. Is there semen evidence? And as I asked God that, he says, yeah. And he showed me a guy turned around and peed right here. And if you pick up this dirt and you do a semen thing, you can get the guy's semen, and also he's connected to the rape of this little kid. So I said, okay, well, we got something that we can be, something tangibly that we can use to find something. We got to find it out. So I picked up the dirt and I put it in a little baggie, and I kept it on me, right? So so I wanted to use that as verifying it, because once again, if you can't verify this stuff, then it's just it doesn't mean anything, right? If you're the only person that's seeing it and nobody else can witness it and it's not verifying anything, then you're crazy. You know what I mean? But if there is something that is tangible and there is verifiable evidence and there's power behind it, supernatural power, then it's in a realm of, okay, there's something going on. It's worth considering. So that was my go-to of, hey, it's worth considering if we can get something tangible. You know what I mean? But hey, if it's just me bringing accusations and woohoo, visions and woohoo, that's crazy stuff, man. That's crazy talk. Anywho, so I end up going down Arizona Avenue, and I did see a girl. She was abducted, and she was abducted in the parking lot there where where the daycare is, and she was dragged around the back, and she was taken to the hole that's in the place of that facility. Now, the girl looked older. She didn't look like a child. She looked older. So, I don't know what to think of that, because mainly this is children we're talking about, but maybe it was something else. So, I don't know what to think of that, but that's what I was shown. So it was an older girl. I'm going to say maybe in her mid-20s, early 20s, and she was taken to one of those holes. She was an attractive girl, I'll put it that way. She looked white. Maybe, no, she looked white. Yeah, she looked like a white girl. Yeah. So, anyways, so we go down more to Arizona Avenue, and I just start seeing companies that, God just starts showing companies, that are involved with this trafficking, showing kids being trafficked from the back, being hauled into trucks, and I'm once again I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, so this company here is affiliated to child trafficking here in Yuma. But that's what he kept showing. He kept showing more and more, and these businesses, were involved in child trafficking. So I spent two hours going down the road, maybe an hour and a half. No, like 2 hours. It was quite a bit of time. Going down the road, just within a half a mile of God just showing me stories and interacting with me. And you need to hear this one. So down that way, there's a red barn. It's another child daycare. And as I'm going next to it, I'm seeing a girl getting skinned alive, and she's scalped, and her hair is thrown on the rocks but the rocks are in the front. So this was going in the back. It looked like it was on the side of the red barn where the child daycare is, and she was skinned there. That's where it looked. And then the man looked. It was a heavy set Mexican dude that skinned her. I remember that much, but the hair that he threw it over the fence, and it landed on the rocks on the other side of the fence on another company, so it was diagonal, on another company's rocks. And I just figured, hey, if this is real, if that really did happen, I didn't know if it was just a story or if it physically happened there. And so I grabbed the rocks where the blood dripped on from the scalped woman, and I started putting it in my pocket. I just took as much rocks and I just put it in my pocket. And I'm like, if that really happened, then there's got to be some type of DNA evidence, right? So I'm trying to look at it reasonably, right? You got to look at it reasonably. As I turn around, I see on Arizona Avenue, there's a billboard there. The billboard says, help us find missing Emily Heber of Yuma, Arizona. That went missing in 2014 or 2013, something like that. And then I look at that and I say, hey, Lord, where'd she go? And an angel hand comes out and starts pointing to my pocket where the rocks are, and starts telling me that was her. So God already was showing me, you know what I mean? Was showing me what happened to her before I even asked the question. You know what I mean? And he does that biblically. He already takes care of you before you even pray about it. He's got you set up before you even pray about it. But I didn't, yeah. So that's what he showed. So missing Emily Heber. Presumably, I had DNA evidence of missing Emily Heber's blood in my pocket that God was showing me through revelations. And I did some time, and I did write an email out to Emily's mother through her Facebook. You can find her on the Facebook. Help us find missing Emily Heber. And I told her all I could, man. And I felt really bad telling her this stuff because, you lose a child and you're some crazy guy's telling you that visions and God showed him and that she was murdered and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to listen either. And so I felt my heart's real heavy with Emily's mother. So I took the rocks, kept it in my pocket, and said, okay, we'll just keep going. And as I'm going past that, I'm just saying, just these companies. I even see kids in the walls, and I don't know how to think of that. Like, kids are in the paint. And this will make sense a little bit later, but I didn't know what to make sense of any of that. Kids in the paint, kids in the walls. Now, I didn't, like I said, I was taking pictures of all this stuff. And I took tons of pictures. What God was showing me, even though you can't see what God was showing me, I still took pictures of it as a memory to show kind of what happened there. But yeah, God was showing kids in the walls, in the paint. I don't know if it was particularly to the company, if it was physically there. I didn't know if it was a symbol that the paint had just, the paint distribution plant, had a small smidget of children in it. Stuff that you hear about McDonald's. McDonald's has, like 1% of human meat in it, so you are participating in cannibalism. Stuff like that. So anyway, so I keep going down Arizona Avenue, just seeing all this stuff, just one thing after another, a story after another story of a body here and a body there. And I'm just like, I don't know what to think of this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, is there a physical body there? What's going on, right? and there can't be a physical body there, right? I mean, God showing me all these body parts and all this stuff. I mean, something's going on. I'm not understanding it. That was how I was taking it. So I end up, yeah. So I'll need to. There's a lot to that, but yeah, there was one junkyard where God was showing me families hiding behind. No, it was girls. It was girls. Girls hiding behind a car in a junkyard while an abductor was trying to go after them, where they eventually grabbed her and snatched her up and took her down one of these holes. And the hole is what God references as these underground torture cities. That's all over America. That's you guys aren't gonna like hearing this.